Hi guys, it's Gwen Fox and I am so glad that you're here. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We would love to have you. I know I say that every single week, don't I? But you know what? We get new people and I love them, and I love you for subscribing and just being part of this art community. Now, I have some exciting news for you because I think it's going to help you. And the news is that I'm now part of a artist community that is mentoring other artists. And let's face it, we all need help. And it's called Mastrius, and it's Matrius. It's mastrius.com. Go on that site and check it out, because what it is that you're not committed for a long period of time, or it's by month, but it's for motivated artists who really want to grow their art. And the mentors are in many, many, many fields, such as watercolor, acrylics, oils, charcoal, drawing, anything you can think of, cold wax. It's whatever you are interested in. And they're open 7 days a week. And no matter what time zone that you're in, there's a mentor that is right there for you. It's exciting because this is a community that's built for you. And I just think that it's really something that you need to check out, because I had never heard of it. But they also have what's called a Meet the Mentor, and they were focusing on me because I have a class that's starting this Thursday. If you want to join that, I would love, love, love to just see faces and just see you and hear about you and your journey. That's attached to this, so you could at least see it, get an idea of what goes on. And I just think it's going to be really exciting. It's things like, if you want to know how to sell your art, if you want to know how to do Instagram or Facebook, if you want to know how to grow your business, if you want to know techniques, there you go. You've got it. It is available for you. So check this out. I'm excited to be part of this fabulous group. And I wouldn't do this if it wasn't good.
So welcome to our Meet the Mentor with the wonderful Gwen Fox. Very excited to have her with us at Mastrius, and hopefully our group will get off the ground next week. So we're supposed to start next Thursday at 6 o'clock Mountain. Yes. If you're in Mastrius long enough, you're always checking your notes to make sure you have the time right and the day right.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of meetings.
Yes. A lot of Zooms, and making sure you're not double booking yourself. So that's hope. So I'm going to turn it over to Gwen to start, and she's going to talk a little bit about herself and then get into confidence, critiques, all kinds of wonderful things.
I forgot critiques.
Oh, that's right. I have some paintings just in case.
We won't even go there.
Okay, we don't have to. This is all you. This is me. This is our chance to meet you. So
okay,
you want to fill the time.
All right. Well, it's also great to meet you guys. So I'm really enjoying seeing your faces and so forth. But I always hate it when somebody says, they say, tell you a little bit about yourself. And you say, well, I was born in, and you're thinking, oh my God, it's going to be a long session. But I have to say, I'm starting there for the simple reason that I was raised on a farm in East Tennessee. And the reason I'm starting there is because my mother had to cook for the farmhands. And so I was in the way. I was a little girl. I was in the way. So she decided to wallpaper with plain wallpaper the hallway of the old farmhouse. And she said, that's your wall. Ooh. And I loved it. And Fortunately or unfortunately, she had to re-wallpaper that every week for years.
That's the best. I love it.
And but she was a good mom and so forth. But you know, my first husband said, "You can paint, just don't embarrass me."
What? Oh.
But that's why he was your first husband.
Yeah.
I divorced him.
Yeah.
My second husband was extremely supportive in my arts. And so I took workshops, and I took my first workshop 2 months shy of my 50th birthday.
Wow.
And so, you know, I loved every minute of it. I'd go to workshops and I'd say, come on, I'd say, that's the best workshop I've ever had. And then 2 weeks later, I would feel an emptiness. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And it's not that there was anything wrong. To me, there was something missing. And I couldn't figure it out. I asked other artists, they didn't feel this way. They didn't feel this at all. And so I thought, okay, I've got to start looking for this. Now, if I'd had a name for it, it would have helped, but I didn't have a name or what it was that I was looking for. So I started reading. I was really into, I think athletes and artists are very much alike. So I read a lot about athletes and how they succeeded, and business people, went to conferences, and I finally found what it was. It was what I call now the mind creativity connection, because how we think and how we create are very much, they have to be in tuned. Okay, think about this. Think about a tennis player going to center court on the US Open, Wimbledon, the French Open. They've got to be confident enough to, if they miss a serve or if they are down a set, it can't affect them. And so the same is with us with creating and painting. You know, I mean, maybe you guys aren't like me, but I goof a lot and I get in there and I can't figure out what to do, and I get frustrated with myself, you know. But we got to realize that there are two forms of games playing in our mind. And that is an outer game. The outer game is the I'm going to do this painting for show. I want to sell it. I want to, you know, it's got to get in a gallery. I want to do that. That's the outer game of things that we want to do. The inner game is the emotional kind of thoughts that we have. It's the mental pictures that we have of ourselves. Because here's the one thing that I have learned that is probably the most important thing ever. And that is how we see ourselves as an artist and how we see our art is how we approach the easel. That is key. That is key. And so it's like confidence, though, is earned. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, you guys are mentors. You're going to have students that are going to be, you know, scared. They don't want to take action. And so let's say that they take action to go into and show their work at the library. That's confidence. And they get in. They get accepted their proposal gets accepted at the library. That's confidence. They took action. That's confidence. And so they're up a little bit. Then the next time they decide, I think I'll enter a jury show. And they get in, go up. That's confidence. They're always, confidence is earned by taking action. And, you know, it's also a muscle. I don't think we realize that confidence is a muscle. I mean, we didn't come, artists are not born, we're made. And we don't come with confidence. We earn it, we work on it. It's a muscle that we use every single day. And it's like going to the gym. You don't go once and say, well, that's it, I'm done. I wish that were the case. But but with confidence, we use it every day. And we earn it by taking action. And so, you know, I don't want to talk too much on it. So I know you're probably saying, would you just shut up? But you know, it's easy to be confident when things are going your way. It is tough when it isn't. And the secret is how you talk to yourself, the words that you use, because that makes the difference. And that makes the whole difference. It sets the tone of your mental attitude. It sets the tone for everything. It's kind of like how you view yourself as an artist and how you talk to yourself as an artist is how you approach the easel or the paper or your creativity, whatever it is you're doing. So, you know, so questions or whatever. And as far as what I'm going to be doing in the group, I'm going to do whatever they want. You know, I'm going to ask them what they want. I mean, I coach artists, so that's how I work with them. I say, where are you in your art? Where do you want to go? What do you want? How do you see yourself going there? And that's where we do it. I mean, you know, we do. I mean, I have, if you want to see it, I'll show it to you, but it's how to take a floral that just totally sucked into an abstract, you know.
Gwen, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think most students come to you with? Are they coming and just totally lost, or are there any common questions that they may have in the beginning when you first start with students?
That's a really good question. And I ask questions. I send them a questionnaire. On every single questionnaire comes back, I lack confidence. Every single one of them. And some of them are lost. Some of them know exactly where they want to go. They, you know, some of them say, no, I don't want to get into galleries. And 6 months later it says, well, hey, how come I'm not in galleries yet? You know, it's kind of like they got the taste of it and they want to do it. So it's kind of all over the map, but every single one of them lack confidence.
Is there a favorite way that you like to start a class or even end a class?
I start a class. It depends on what the class is usually about. If I'm going to be coaching, I start, as they say, where they are. And like they may want assignments, they may not want assignments. And we go that way. In a class, it's kind of like whatever it's on. Like I'm doing right now, a critique camp. And so we critique the paintings. And so it's very, very interesting to see. It's a fabulous group, great group of I have two guys, and they're both professors. One's in New York, and one's from Columbia. And they're just awesome. I mean, you know, it's just great to get this combination of thought patterns, viewpoints, And I can tell you this, that there are so many of my people that I would love to get into their brain, because they do these paintings that are just fantastic. And I look at them, I think, God, I couldn't do that for anything. You know, I'm sure you guys see the same thing.
That's the fun things about critiques, when you
It
can
is the
quiz
fun
them
thing.
and ask them all sorts of questions.
Exactly. Where do you want this to go? And I say, here's the thing, here's the questions to ask. If you take something away, will it add? If you add something, will it be good? You don't want to just keep going and putting on paint like I used to do.
What if like the artist that's learning with you from you doesn't have the vocabulary and doesn't necessarily even know, like when you turn it back to them and say, well, what do you think? But let's say that they're so new to it that they don't have the language around values or composition or color, or how do you handle that?
Usually the people that I coach already have one.
Okay.
They're already at least to that place where they do have a vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. And then I know our group will be emerging, so they'll have it. But okay, people do self-select their level, right? So they may see themselves as emerging, but they might actually be more aspiring. And it is possible there could be some gaps in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that I catch pretty quick.
Okay.
That I catch that pretty quick. And in college, I wasn't able to go to art school at all. And so I took psychology and sociology, and I have to tell you, it's proven to be one of the best things I could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can pretty much catch the ones that are kind of quiet. And so they have to be brought out in a very gentle way so that they don't feel bad. But the one thing that I say up front in my classes is that this is a safe class. There is no judgment from me or from any of the other participants. And the other thing that I am is that I am vulnerable of myself so that they can feel very comfortable being vulnerable themselves.
Okay.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think with creativity, we're just so vulnerable when we put ourselves out there on the canvas or however we do it. That's
I agree. I agree. I mean, you're putting your soul out there for somebody to come along and show their ignorance.
Yeah. Well, it's like what you were talking about, the inner game and the outer game. It's like we can have all of the positive self-talk, and then somebody says something, and then you've had all of those, taken all those risks and built your self-confidence, and then you've climbed the ladder, and then all of a sudden the ladder just falls over, and you're like, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a tough.
It is tough, and we need to realize that the two games that are played during creativity while we're in front of the easel or our paper is played at the same time without us realizing it. We've got these ideas, we've got these thoughts running through our head. You may have been, you may have some quote demons that I don't have, and they're going to show themselves. It's that inner critic, which, as I said, mine was so big, I called it my itty bitty shitty committee. And so it just we've got to learn how to leave that at the door and say, sweetheart, stay outside. Today's my day.
So I've got a question, and it's, okay, so I feel like part of who we are, like you said, there's multiple parts of us in front of a canvas or paper, whatever we're going after. And there is a part of us that is excited and scared at the same time. And
absolutely.
I don't think fear is a problem. And because I can't, like, to me, it's part of it. Like this, like being creative is like, to me, the edge of the wedge, right? Every time you're stepping in, you're stepping into something that you may not have done before or you've tried. And a lot of us are on very fast curves here. We're just learning stuff and integrating and trying. And so there's no slowpoke mode being in Mastrius for me. Like it's full out. And so I guess I want to understand your perspective, because I don't think having fear in the mix is a problem. If it stops you, it's a problem. But it is part of who we are in that kind, or we're not going to, there's no fear, we're not risking, like, so I don't know. That's kind of how I feel.
No, I agree totally. I wrote a whole article on the fact of I'm standing in front of the canvas and I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it. It's blank, it's beautiful, it's crisp, it's new, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, okay, what am I going to do? And I stand there and I wait and I'm thinking, it's not talking. I don't know why it's not talking to me. And then it dawns on me, it's up to me to do this. And that was the scary part, is that it's up to me. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think you just go and you do and everything is great. And I tell my students, hey, listen, it's not like that, guys. I goof more times than I am successful. No, and I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, and it's okay.
And it's okay. It's just part of the process. And if anybody tells you it's a piece of cake, well, they're wrong. Listen to them. Don't listen. But I think we are probably the very luckiest people in the entire world. We get to create and bring from what's within us out and put it on a canvas or a paper or making a pot or whatever it is we're doing. We get to see faces in clouds. We get to embarrass our friends by picking up bubblegum wrappers on the ground, and saying, oh my God, look at this. I can use it in my next collage. And they're saying, oh God. Brings me pure joy. But we are lucky.
We are.
Yeah, I agree. And what do you say to somebody, oh gosh, that they are trying to find their style and they really want to find their voice and how they're doing it? Is that common for you? Do you get that a lot? Is that?
I do.
Yes,
I do that a lot. And, they are always looking for their voice as if it's outside of them. And it isn't outside of them. It's within them. And here's one of the things that, okay, let me just explain how I look at the whole picture of art. Let's say that this is the entire thing of art. And this much is the principles and elements of design. It's how to mix your colors so you don't get mud. It's how to be creative. It's how to do all the things that find new ways of doing things. This is the inner game. This is what makes the difference. And the problem is that this doesn't seem nearly as important as these others. And they both have to play together because they're equally important, but this is bigger than this. And I find that when I started teaching this, some would roll their eyes like, okay, lady, just get over this. I just want to learn how to paint. And, finally, and I did a workshop at the Taos Institute of Art. And I said to the gals, I am going to, we do a art motivational talk in the morning, but on Friday, you will not get that because you're going to finish your paintings. And so I came in on Friday and there they were sitting around in the semicircle. And I said, hey guys, did you forget? And they looked at me and they said, no, we come for the talks. And that's when I realized they needed that as much as I did, you know, and that was so important. And so sometimes to find your voice, getting back to your question, Lynette, is that we need to go deeper inside of ourselves. It's just not surface. And that is where we find our voice.
So would you agree that it's, because I feel this, that it's actually a journey of discovery? And
It
it's
is.
like we're doing layers at a time. And then I get to this place and I go, yeah, that's what I'm going after. But what does that really mean? And then it takes a while. It's not going to just bounce out of me. It takes a while, but I keep painting, I keep going, and then I find something more. So for me, it's discovery. And actually, that's why I love this journey. I have no idea what it's going to look like a year from now or 2 years from now or whatever.
Jean, do you do abstracts or what do you do?
I'm more representational, but I am very, I'm moving in the end of representational, right? Looser and
You're loosey-goosey.
Well, I'm looking for the meaning underneath of why I'm doing it, really is what I'm doing. I'm at that place that I'm digging. But so I just think it's a journey, right? I don't know what it's going to look like a year or 2 years from now or
And
I don't know.
I tell my students, I said, we all change. Your voice is going to change.
Yeah.
And your style is going to change because you change. Because when we change, everything else changes.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
So that's, and then people say, oh, but I love to do more than one thing. And I feel like I've got to do one thing in order to find my voice, to have a series, to blah, 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 and so forth. I said, look, galleries do want to know what style you have. So they do want to know that. But I said, I do florals, abstracts, and dog portraits. Therefore, I'm schizophrenic. So it's okay. It's all right. And the reason that artists are like this is because artists are super bright. We get bored very easy. We want different mediums sometimes. We want different supports. We want different subjects. It's all okay.
Yeah, it is.
It's funny, Gwen, I once was talking to a lady at one of my shows. My show was called Free to Be Me because I believe I have 3 artists living inside me. I never know on a given day which one's going to come out. So I'm struggling to make this solo show hang together. And I have 3 distinct bodies of work. So in my artist statement, I just called the show Free to Be Me. And explain that, this is all me. And it's 3 bodies of work. And I had said to somebody, I'm a schizophrenic artist. This woman says, oh, Sharon, I'm sorry. Are you taking medicine? And I realized, oh my goodness, schizophrenia is a real thing. I shouldn't say that anymore.
No, I tell them all the time about that. It's very interesting. I had a painting and the guy brought it back and he says, there's a dog hair in here. I said, really?
I should have charged extra for that.
I said, you are so lucky.
It's your Pollock touch. It's like your cigarette.
You are so lucky. And I explained why I was so lucky. And he said, really? Okay. And he took it.
That's awesome.
If you just take the approach of, well, you're just a lucky person to get whatever it is. If the smudge is on the side, great. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
So it sounds like a lot of the beating up of ourselves we do is because we imagine all these constraints and these boxes and like what it should be or shouldn't be, or what my voice is or isn't, or where am I going, or where did I come from? And it's really just create and play and discover and evolve, I guess, right?
Yeah. And just trust yourself. I think one of the hardest things for artists to do is to trust yourself and what you're doing, because you always wonder, is it good enough?
For whom?
Yeah.
Right?
But is it good? We ask that question. I hear that all the time from my coaching clients. Is it good enough?
And
Is that
what does
also
it
the
come-
same? Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, when they're saying, is it not good enough, and that's part of the process, do they, when they're saying that part of things and they're all frustrated and everything, are they saying what they want though? Are they coming out and saying, this is what I want to feel at the end? Or are they just in the frustration mode? And how do you handle that?
I think it's the frustration mode, but it's also an inner fear. That's that inner game of being uncertain. And
Right.
so since I'm aware of the inner game, I can deal with that in a way that's gentle, but so that they understand, and
Yeah.
it's also normal to think that way.
Well, one of the reasons for me that I think it's so much more than normal is that we are actually sitting on giants in this world. We spend our younger lives going to these museums where the best in the world are portrayed, and then you come into a world where when you actually step into the world of art, and there's thousands of artists, and so it's not that you're comparing because you're looking and growing and whatever, but it's a really big voice in there to trust that you're good enough, because we're always growing. So compared to whom and what am I good enough? That's the question. I'm already ever going to be me, but maybe 5 years from now, I'll have something more that I had now, but I don't even know. But it's hard. I totally understand, because this is a weird field in terms of.
It is. And you will
giants.
find that students compare their work to yours. And I say, don't compare your third piece of art to my 40,000 piece of art.
Exactly.
It doesn't compute.
I know. So it's a hard one. It's a hard one, but
It is a hard one.
Yeah.
It
Well,
really is. So
I think Emily has a question.
Emily, hi.
Hi, Jean. Anyways, one thing I was going to say is I have a really big problem because I feel, like you said, a lack of self-confidence. And the reason I feel that way, and I probably shouldn't, because I have sold my artwork through the years and I've switched mediums. I started with watercolor, I did soft pastel, now I'm doing oil and cold wax. And like you said, for me, it's always about nature and dogs. And yeah, so the thing is, it seems like I never get any validation from most of my friends are artists, and they never say anything nice about any of my paintings. And I've done a couple of honorable mentions and shows. So I feel like, and even my husband never comments on, and he's a painter also.
They don't count.
They don't count, right? So for me, it's there's no way. I mean, the only person I can rely on really is myself, unless I'm in a class and the teacher makes a nice comment, but nobody around me nurtures my interest, and I don't know if it's because I feel like I'm not that good a painter because nobody's saying anything, I guess I'm really insecure.
Well,
Emily, you need to hang around with Gwen more often.
Yes, exactly.
Friends.
Here's what I learned, because I was the same way, is that I wasn't taking my art seriously. Therefore, the energy that I was putting out was oh, this may not be good enough, but what do you think about?
Right. Yeah.
So they're giving you the same energy that you're giving them.
Okay.
And so now's the time to work on that, because that can come fast, because
Mhm.
you're already in the painting process. So building that up won't be all that hard.
Right.
And
Okay.
she is a phenomenal artist, and she knows this. And she's
I-
worked with us, and she knows that we've always said that. Just so you know, Emily.
Yeah, just so that you know. Okay. Well, like I said, it's just really hard, I guess. And I blame myself being that way for being the youngest in the family. So it was like everybody was always saying, don't talk, and don't say this and don't say that, kind of like you have to not be around, children should be seen and not heard.
Right. And that's hard to overcome. And that's that inner game that you're
Mhm.
playing.
Mhm.
And so you can change that game by choosing different words that you want to use around yourself, how you describe your work, how you feel when you don't do well, like when your friends don't say anything good,
Mhm.
you can change all of that
Mhm.
by the words that you use,
Mhm.
because our world is nothing until we describe it with words.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's your assignment, girl.
Well, I do want to join your group, but I'm in the middle of another group right now that I don't want to leave. But when I saw you come on, I thought, oh my gosh, that's the perfect person. And I love your work. So
Well, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Well,
Liz, do you have any questions for Gwen? Liz is actually signed up for your group. She's our first
hey, girl.
registered. So.
And Marie, I have to say, I was panicking because I was not able to log on to the
I
Zoom.
know. I was trying to be here, and I was like trying to send you messages, and it's really hard. Like I was like, okay, I could do it like this. So I was like typing away, like the
I
man.
saw your, yeah, thank you. Anyway, I'm so grateful that I made it. But yeah, I'm just very excited to take this course. I consider myself a beginner artist, so I have a lot to learn. And I love landscape, floral, old rustic barns, buildings. So I really haven't figured out my style yet.
What medium do you use, Liz?
So I use oil and acrylic,
Okay.
but I actually love oil the best. I think it's so nice and easy to blend with oil. And I'm very intrigued by abstract. I've done a few, but I love your abstract work that you have done.
No,
So I'm
thank you.
excited to learn. And I can't believe you're 80. Oh my gosh, you look amazing.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you.
You're
Don't
welcome.
tell any. Although, when I turned 80, I did a YouTube video. I just said, yeah, I'm having a very special birthday. And so I talked about it, and it was fun. I was told, please don't do that. People don't need to know you're that old. And I'm saying, damn, I'm happy that I'm still here.
Was that your kids that said that?
No, it was some other women, but I've received over 500 emails on thanks for doing that.
Wow, that is nice. It's a
You
privilege.
have to go and take a look at it.
It's birthday.
It's on YouTube. It's the happy birthday video.
Yeah,
I'll
you
have
have
to
to go and
watch it.
take a look at it, Liz.
Yes.
It's good.
So
Gwen has a huge YouTube channel. I was hunting around in there the other day, and I was like, all these gems. So it was good.
Oh, good to know.
But you know what it is? What I feel being a part of Mastrius is this incredible space we're in, where we get to meet all of you incredible masters who have gone down this journey. And it is in the techniques as well, because we are eye candy people, right? We love the visuals and go, oh, I love that art. But it's also the deeper part that And so
It
I
is.
just feel so honored to be in this journey with such incredible people. And Amory's not far off. I mean, if somebody's not, there's over 100 masters, and if one's knocking at the door, I guess it's the right time.
There you go. And then there's Lynette. She teaches and she does these fabulous things.
Yeah.
I have to say, when you were saying this, Jean, about how you felt, have you met Gwen before, or is this the first time?
First time.
First time. Oh, see, I can relate to this, because the first time I met Gwen, it was just, it truly was. It was her presence, her aura, her wisdom that just came out of her without, it was just so natural.
Yeah.
And the fact that you see it too, I just think that's so cool.
Are you coming along then too? Does that mean you're joining? Are you with me?
Who's with me? Who's with me?
Like somebody's going to come with Liz.
Everybody needs to see this video. Everybody needs to see this, and then they will just be. You'll have waiting lists because people see the magic that you are, my dear.
Yeah.
Well, we met just by chance. We were on a group together. It was just the two of us, wasn't it?
Yes, we were newbies together with
Yes.
sisters.
And it was just like perfect. Loved her. I just thought, oh my gosh, this is great. So we've kept in touch, and I just feel so blessed.
Yeah, she's wonderful. So
And
I don't
so-
think you'll make a wrong decision with that, Jean.
Okay.
This is like, the Gwen Fox fan club. I love it. Yeah. It's good. I
Well,
know every time I talk with Gwen, and we've had a couple of Zooms, I'm just so happy after. And it's just like, I don't know. I think you do have, I mean, I can't wait for the group to start because I feel like I'm going to learn so much too. But it's just, I think Jean's right. And Lynette, like your aura is something, like you have this, the gentle kindness, but also a sense of play that I like. So I think it's going to be awesome.
well, I think I'm going to go out and come back in, and you guys can say all this all over again. I never hear this, so this is awesome.
Well, the other thing that attracted to me in the write-up, so Amory, this was good. Like it was part of it because I wanted to support Amory, but the other one was you actually commented about the one-liners and the way you look at life, and there is a joyful play, and you even in your words. So I think it would be fun. I think we would have quite a fun adventure together.
Yeah, it would be good.
So Gwen, you asked us to send work in. Are you going to have
Yes,
a chance to look at?
guys, I forgot that.
You might have to do another one of these then. For all the people that are asking for that.
What I could show you, Jean, is a failed floral, and I turned it into an abstract.
Sure.
Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Okay, so I will do that. I will
On share screen at the bottom.
yes.
Okay.
All right, so here we go up here, and I'm going to play. So you get to see a really important screen. It's all blank, right?
Yes.
So I decided that I wanted to do a very serene, loose, this is oil, loose scene of some flowers and so forth. And so this is what I started, and I'm just going, and I'm liking the looseness of it. And then I get really soft edges. It's going fine because I want serene. I never do serene. And then I bring it down, and I've got more soft colors. Then I put a line in because I've got to have a line. Then I look at it and I think, this thing is insipid. I don't like it at all. And so I decide to add a little bit more color. And if I added a little bit more color, maybe more color would even be better. So I'm adding the color, and I'm trying to figure this out. And I just keep going and going and going, and I'm throwing. I've got splatters. I'm throwing things at it, and my inner critic is saying, "Let it go, girl." And so finally, I decided, okay, maybe a stamp would help it. You know, it's kind of like, okay, if this doesn't work, maybe a frame will work. But no,
Like stamp on it. I like the stamp.
yeah, the stamp was right here and you know, up in here. Then I look at it and I say, this is not good. Time to destroy.
Do.
So I then, okay, now, unfortunately, I was so upset that I didn't get out my camera to start taking it as I went, but I got a few shots. So I added, you can see, here's the pink, here's the pink, pink. That seemed to do. I love diagonal lines. So I added a diagonal line. So then I added more white because I wanted to bring out the dark. And then I drew lines here. And so now I have a close-up of this. And then I thought, well, you know, this is going to be the center of interest, but you don't see it. So I've got to, you know, make some color here to do that. So this is what I did that. So now we know where the center of interest is. And so this is pretty close to the end of it. So this is the final painting. It's a 48 by 60.
Wow.
Wow, looks great.
So it's an oil. And so if you have questions, I will be happy to talk about it.
Well, you know, we always see things in paintings, right? And I have to laugh because did you not say that you do dog portraits?
I do. You see
If
the
I
dog.
look on my side here, there's a dog walking across your painting there. I'm going, there's a dog there. You see it?
Which way? If I look this
Okay,
way.
look to the right.
All our heads are going like this and like this.
There's a dog walking across.
Oh,
So that's
you're right.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
He's running.
Oh,
He's running.
it's like a stray dog too. He's got like skinny legs and-
That's a damn cute dog.
He is so cute. Well, anyway,
Thank you for pointing that out.
he's so cute. But no, that's so cool.
You know, but this is an oil and it was dry. So when I did the finished, you know, the floral, that was so fabulous. And so I just painted over it. But I have scraped off coal wax paintings of 48 by 60s, and it's just a killer,
Mhm.
you know. And now, how many of you do oils?
I do.
I do.
Do you use your sludge?
My what? Oh, you mean the leftover? Oh yeah, I use everything.
Is
How to
like
use
the
your sludge?
leftover?
It is awesome.
Yeah, like your mixed colors in your palette. Is that what you mean by sludge?
It's what's left at the bottom when you're changing your Gamsol.
Oh, the turpentine.
Oh,
The
I
real
don't use
sludge.
that. Oh no,
You're not talking about taking all your colors and making gray. You're talking about real sludge.
like real
Oh, I'm
sludge.
talking about the real thing, honey.
I know, I don't use that.
There you go. Wow.
Cool.
What do you use your sludge for?
Do we
Well,
want to know?
I use it for the backgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I could, let's see, wait a minute. Let's see if I've got something here. It's not finished. And so I might be able to, I've got to find it here, just a sec. And I'll show you how I use it in the background, because you never know what color the sludge is going to be. You know, so so this isn't finished,
Oh wow.
but this is the sludge,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
you know, and then I will mix it in with some of the colors if I want to. in order to blend everything together. But I find in the background, it's just awesome,
It's interesting.
Wow.
you know? So you just
Oh,
put it
lighter than
on
I
and
thought.
let it dry, and that's it. So now you know not to throw that away because it's valuable.
Sludge
So,
on.
you know, this is far from done, but it's on its way.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Is that the technical term, sludge? I've never heard of that before.
As far as I'm concerned, it's as good as it gets. Always. You know, I don't know the technical term. I just said that looks like sludge. I think I'm going to use it.
Keeper. Thank you so much, Gwen, and everyone who came. This has been wonderful. I'm very excited about the group. I know that Liz is. I know that Jean is. And Sharon and Lynette, I know you have your own groups and all that, but thanks for coming along and supporting this.
Yeah,
So.
thank you guys. So check it out. See if it's something that would enhance your art. And let me know. Leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video. But anyway, there are many, many, many workshops that you can take or mentors that you can study with in this. So anyway, I will see you later. I'll see you next week, and I love you. Bye.